School's out for yet another term and we are officially now on winter break. And oh boy, what a topsy-turvy term we have had. Wow. I kid you not, there were a few weeks there early on in the term that we had to head out of the house every single day of the week. Every single day in the afternoons we had something on that was either fun or educational that we were doing with other homeschoolers. Exhausting. Why do I do that to myself? Why? I have been homeschooling for 14 years and yet I still fall into the trap of signing us up to far too many new and exciting activities. So if there's nothing else you take away from today, let this be the number one thing I can leave with you. Don't do that to yourself. Don't do it. Seriously, do not schedule activities every single day of the week. We all need time at home, just time to be, decompress, possibly do a bit of housework, all those sorts of things. It's manic when you're out of the house every single day of the week. Am I ever going to learn? I don't know. I try, but I fail at least once a year doing that. So what we had did only go for a few weeks, but what we had was Monday afternoon, my daughter has a singing lesson. Tuesdays we're doing science with a couple of other families. Wednesdays the kids were go-karting. Thursdays my son and now just recently my daughter had started doing gel soft with about 40 other homeschool kids. Fridays is our teen social meetup group. So it was absolutely manic for those few weeks that we needed to try and get everything done in the mornings that we needed to get done, eat, clean ourselves, do our chores and get ourselves out of the door at lunchtime. Anyway, we live and learn, don't we? On top of that crazy few weeks that we had, I was also the lucky recipient to be invited to participate on our local jury. So let me just say, when I first got this in the mail, my first reaction was, no way am I doing that. But once I sat with it and thought about it, I thought, you know, I've never been called up for jury duty before. It is part of our citizen duty. I guess some of you might disagree with me there, but the more I thought about it and sat on it, I thought, you know what, let's do this. I had to make myself available for 3 weeks. In the end, the jury I sat on, or the trial that I sat on, I should say, lasted for 3 full days. However, I did need to make myself available for 3 weeks. And so that did put a bit of a dent into our term. But the bonus is there was so many discussions about trials and juries and our legal system and what goes on and all those things. So there was lots of extra bonus learning that we hadn't planned for because I got chose to go on a jury. And I can highly recommend it. And in fact, I actually think that every adult should at some time in their life sit on at least one trial. So if you do ever get called up, please find a way to make yourself available. And my hope is that you get as much out of the experience as what I did. I would definitely do it again. So we got over jury duty, we had a couple of weeks, and then unfortunately, just over a week and a half ago, we lost our little puppy who was nearly 14 years old. So certainly not a puppy, but refer to him as our puppy. It was time for him to leave us on Earthside. So that was quite a traumatic time for us, as I'm sure you can imagine. We're still getting over that. I don't want to talk too much about that. Obviously that made a dent in our term as well. So we had a lot happening this term. Therefore, in terms of book work, we probably didn't get as much done as we may have liked to. However, I'm generally okay. I'm genuinely happy with where our term has gone. I do not choose to put the way we spend our time in little packets, I guess, where this is our schoolwork and our extracurricular activities are just that, extracurricular, and life moments are life moments. The whole lot is an education. No matter what we are doing, we're learning and growing, finding out new things about ourselves and about the world around us. So everything that we did this term is all part of our educational journey. In saying that, however, It is an end of term, so it is time to recap, look back on what we did achieve, maybe what didn't work so well for us, and think forward to the term ahead. So I'm going to quickly run through with you some of the things that we did get through this term. Okay, so let's start with a bit of language art. We completed Grammar Galaxy, level 1. So if you've watched any of my earlier videos, if you follow me on Instagram, you'll know that I bought this at the end of last year in the Black Friday sales. Yes, the level's far too young for my kids. We did it anyway. I really like this program, and at some point I will do a complete video about all the reasons why we enjoyed Grammar Galaxy. But we're done with this one. We completely finished it. We also completed another Brave Rider Arrow guide, and this one was Wings of Fire, the Dragonette Prophecy. Definitely enjoying these arrows. They are very, very gentle. But again, once we've completed a couple more, I think I will sit down and do a bit of a walkthrough for you, just so that I can share all of my thoughts and feelings on the Brave Rider book unit program. So we finished that one. In terms of maths, we have still been working through the Pepper and Pine mental math curriculum. Easy peasy, it's just a simple few minutes a day. If you want something that's really quick and simple to put together. Also finished all of the Life of Fred elementary books. I'm going to take a break from Life of Fred. I've got some other review, catch-up, fun math books that I will link to for you. I think I shared those, I'm going to say, in my recent book depository book haul. But we finished Life of Fred elementary program as well. My son has still been working hard with his maths tutor on MathQuest grade 7. So this term, he completed units on rational numbers, percentages, indices, prime numbers, cube roots, square root, decimals, did I already say that? And just this last week or so, they've started to get into geometry. And my daughter, I know I don't talk about her much on the channel, and I choose to respect her privacy in that. So, but she has started with our maths tutor working on this essential maths program that we found for free online. This is actually put out by the South Australian Education Department, and it's a complete living maths program. So getting a lot out of this one. Basically, they call it the game of life. And it's all the math that's involved with lots of challenges. And some of the topics that are covered are getting a job, moving out of home, furnishing your rental property, buying an expensive item, creating a budget portfolio, and then creating a final budget. So she's been doing lots of budgeting, learning how to set up Excel spreadsheets and those types of things with this. This is completely free, this one. I'll try and remember to link it below for you so that you can find it. Like we always do, we begin our day with documentaries, and this term was no different. So we also watched a bunch of various documentaries. We watched the entire season of Emily's Wonderlab. It's young, it is young. The kids in that show are probably, I don't know, 8 to 10. It is quite young, but it does actually cover some pretty decent scientific concepts in that. So it's a fun, light-hearted scientific program on Netflix. We also watched the documentary Seaspiracy. Wow. Please watch this. I don't want to get too much into it here. I really don't have time to be analysing documentaries. Do yourself a favour. Watch Seaspiracy. Watch it before you share it with your children. But it's a really important documentary. It sheds a lot of light on what is happening out there in our oceans. And let's just say we have all walked away thinking very differently moving forward in regards to seafood and our oceans. So that's Seaspiracy on Netflix. Then we also watched Money Explained. This was a fascinating look into our money. The kids really enjoyed this. Lots of varying topics. There was the odd episode that was a little bit too US focused and didn't relate to us here, But we use all those as learning opportunities, and we really enjoyed Money Explained. Then for something a little bit more light-hearted, we went across and watched Latin America's 72 Most Dangerous Animals. Wow. That just goes on and on and on and on. They had so many episodes. We only watched half of that because it just seemed to go on and on forever, but that was a little bit of fun. And just this last week or so, we have started watching Human on Netflix. Another one I highly recommend. It's fabulously informative. We are learning so much, and it covers very different topics than what your average documentary about the human body covers. So check that one out. That's Human on Netflix. We continued with our physical science program from Mr. Q's lab. Still enjoying this. As you know full well if you've watched any of my other videos, we really enjoyed the chemistry program that he put out. And physical science is basically the same. So enjoying getting together with a couple of other families and working our way through this one. Then of course, quiet reading time. I think I forgot to share these in my last end of term wrap up. But this is just some of the novels that the three of us read independently on our own in our quiet independent reading time. So a lot of variety there from all of us. And I remembered my book basket this term. So we did dive into our morning basket, and I have filmed a video of what's inside, and I will link that one up above for you so that you can have a look at that. But finally, this term, we made it into our morning basket. Okay, in terms of those other activities that are outside of the home, I try to let the kids as much as possible choose their own extracurricular activities, or we always look for things that are different, that we may not have tried before in the past, just to give them that really broad range of experiences. For me, that's what an education is all about. Trying out as many different things as we possibly can. Even those things that we think we might be scared of, even those things that we think we may not enjoy, let's just give it a go. Because we never know what we're going to take from trying out all of the new experiences. So this term, the kids chose go-karting for their sport, and they loved it. Absolutely loved it. Got a bit competitive there. Definitely looking at how to increase their times. There was a few crashes on the course, but go-karting was a highly adrenaline-inducing few weeks. We also had our regular teen Friday afternoon meetup group, and that involved obviously socialising. We met at park, and also we met at a indoor bowling and putt-putt centre. So there was quite a bit of bowling happening this term. We also have a local gel soft, which is kind of like indoor paintball without the paint. They use little Orbeez to shoot at each other. So we've had a group start there, which has about 40 teens. So it's a great big group of kids that attend, and my son has thoroughly enjoyed that. In fact, on one of the weeks, they decided they'd do like a little mini tournament. He and another boy won that, so he was pretty chuffed to get himself a little medal from that day. So I laughed about the fact that this is where all that gaming comes into play. It does transfer some way into real life with all of that hand-eye coordination that they've got going on when they're gaming. He has also still been very active with his emergency services cadets program and enjoying that immensely, and again getting a lot out of it and learning heaps. One of the highlights was that they spent an evening with the local emergency services team on their flood boats. So in the dark, with torches only, they got to go out in the flood boats and have a practice of what actually happens in a flood type situation, or if they're searching for someone that may have fallen into the river, or any manner of emergency that may have occurred. So we really enjoyed that experience. The Rural Fire Brigade, where he has his emergency service cadet program, also had their open day, and he volunteered at that, and he had a great time doing that. So I love that he's getting in that volunteering and learning all those things that are involved in being an emergency service person, whether that's in a paid position or in a volunteer type scenario. My daughter, as most of you are aware, is our girl that's heavily involved in speech and drama. So a few nights a week she is out of the house at various drama groups or attending speech and drama exam lessons. So a bit of a proud mummy moment. She was awarded the Barbara Sisley Award recently, and we had to attend our state parliament house for an award ceremony because she achieved the highest score in her speech and drama exams for Trinity College of London. So that was the highest result in our state. And so in recognition of that, she was invited to attend the Barbara Sisley Awards, and at the awards, she performed one of her favourite pieces. So super proud parental moment there, and she was very, very excited to receive that award. She is also heavily into learning to drive, so lots of driving, or as much as Dad will do with her that she can get in as possible. Oh, and she got herself a job. She had recently spent some time online applying for various local jobs. She got a call back from one of those jobs, and so therefore she attended her first official job interview, even though she has worked part-time in the past. This was her official job interview with a completely unknown entity, and she got the job. She has now done 2 shifts at one of our nearby McDonald's, so we're quite chuffed about that. And I think that pretty much brings me to the end of the term. So really, even though, as I said in the beginning, we had a big term, we had a lot of things going on this term, we still managed to get through so much actual official bookwork, if you want to look at it like that, which I never do, as I said before. But I'm still really happy with where we're at. We're now off to enjoy our break, and I've got lots of planning ready for next term. If you have any questions about anything that I've shared today, please don't hesitate to ask. I do try my best to share quite a bit about behind the scenes over on Instagram, especially in my stories, so I'd love to have you join me, and I'd love to invite you to pop on down and hit that subscribe button. Thank you so much for being here. Thanks for watching all the way to the end. I do really appreciate those of you who do that, and I will see you all again soon. Bye for now.